All right, so in this section, we're going to discuss a little bit about, let me move the mouse, a little bit annoying there. We're going to talk about the use of root motion for the attack animation here. So what is root motion? Usually it is used in kind of like AAA games or games made in Unreal Engine already kind of like have their root motion features baked in there. It's used to control the movement of the character or the movement of the object, in this case a character, synced it up with the animation itself. So instead of using the code like what I do for the movement, the basic movement, you will use the movement of the animation itself. So like in this case, the attack is all done through the animation itself. So let's just get into that. Yeah. Okay, so now we are inside Blender. I'm gonna show you how I created the root bones or generated it, or actually just created it. So yeah, let's take a look. Go to animation here. So let's assume you are using game rig tools, right? That's I think the one of the best add-ons that Blender could have if you are a game developer. So make sure you check that. So game rig tools will generate the deformation group, right, or deformation bones for you. And when it generates the deformation bones, oh, by the way, I hope that you have a prerequisite knowledge about how animating in Blender and understand the terminology. But yeah, I'll try my best to explain it. So you have the controller rig and the deformation rig. The deformation rig, or in this one is called the rig deform, is the one that you will export to Godot or export from Blender to Godot. So when you generate the deformation rig, usually it doesn't really have the root bones. So what you can do, you add it. You add yourself. So you just Shift A and then create a new bone and then name it to whatever name root bone. So in this case, I named it root. And with that, go to post mode, which is Control Tab, and then you need to add constraint, which is the copy location, add bone constraint, and then copy location here, and then target the control rig, which the name is rig, and then set the bones to root. So it will be parented to that. Now speaking about parenting, you need to parent the pelvic bone or the first spine bone to the to the root bone. So now when it calculated, when it is baked, it will count for that transformation as well. If you don't do this, then everything just will be a waste of time. It's not gonna be parented, or it's not going to move the way you want it to move. And also, of course, you need to parent all the things that is unparented during the generation process of the game rig tools. But I hope you know that. But so yeah, now the form. Let's take a look at that. And if we go to the control rig, the root bones will be parented to the root node here. So when the root node moves, also the root bones will move. And we use that information and extract that information inside Godot to determine how the character moves, basically. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention also that the constraint that I use is copy location, not copy transform. I don't want the rotation information because the rotational information is handled inside game engine. If you need that, then you need to also add copy rotation, right? It is useful if you have an animation like, for example, where is it? The attack 3, where it's kind of like rotating there, the roots, and you also want the root bones to rotate for some reason. But for me, I don't need that because all the rotation is or cosmetic here in the animation, and the true rotation is handled inside game engine. I hope that makes sense. In my head, it makes sense, but I hope it come across as clear as possible. But with that being said, so that's how you generate or make your own rig root motion if you have your own rig. The next part, I think, to talk about how to import it and what's the limitation there. So yeah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how to import animation from external library, for example, Mixamo, right? And if you want to do that, I think you can just go to, you need to enable first the Mixamo, import Mixamo extension. and will be and make sure it is enabled, and then it will open up or it will show you this option mixamo FBX, and then click on that, and then you just whatever animation that you have, do that. And if you just say import mixamo without any other changes, it will do this. So it will start in the middle, start in the origin, and then it will move around as the character move around as well, which maybe that's not what you want, right? But let's import it one more time. But right now, roots starts from feet. Do that. Oops. Import mixamo. Feet. There you go. Right now, the root node is kind of like in the middle, right? At least in the correct position now. So it start from there and then move around and so on and so forth. However, there's still a problem. That's why I show you the second animation here, which is the falling to roll. The problem is that it does not start from the feet, from the original feet here. So it starts from the contact point, or in the 0 and Z axis in this case, or Y axis if you are using Godot, which is unwanted, right? You don't want this to happen. And how to fix that? To be honest, I don't really know. I don't really use this, but this is just a fun way if you want to know how to import a mixamo. I mean, if I think about how to fix it, I think I can, but I don't really use this. But if you know how to do it, leave a comment down below, and let me know how to fix this the easy way. But yeah, basically you still need to do manual labor if you want to import an FBX, if the animation does not start from the origin, right? So it's just start from there, and you can bake it, I guess, but yeah, that's beside the point. So there's no easy way of making root motion or importing root motion, importing animation with and generate root motion in Blender. So that's just an easy solution if you have a grounded movement. And Godot does not support root motion generation, at least the one that I know of. Maybe there's an extension out there, but I usually just do the root motion myself, just like I showed you earlier. And if you know that you are going to use root motion as part of your project, then make sure the animation in the correct format, or in the correct position in terms of starting point. So that's the root motion talk. I think, yeah, that settles it. Let's just go to Godot, go back to Godot and talk about the attacking animation itself. Okay, so after all the root motion talk, let's take a look at the attack system. So I separated the movement composition, or the movement controller, and the attacking controller, but it's still kind of like interconnected in some extent, or affect one another to some extent. But yeah, let's see. So it has these variables, which is attack index and attack delay and direction. Delay is just used to like when is the recovery done, or when the player can attack again, and like that. And the direction is the direction of the camera, whether it is locked or not. If it is locked, then align the model to the camera. And attack index is like which attack should be shown. Align to camera, this is a function that we use if it is locked. And then this is connecting the animation tree here with the signal of this one, the animation finished. If the animation finished, then you can attack again, or recover to idle, basically. So that's the idea of that. And yeah, so I'm using signals to check whether the animation is ended or not. And if attack in the animation name, then you just say, hey, animation tree, go back to base. Oh, and by the way, I think I haven't mentioned it. I use this. How to use this is that for easy referencing, you can click or right click on the nodes and then access unique name. So if you don't have this, it will go like this, right? This is if you want to reference it, it's so long. But if you have access to unique name, then the reference is just using this percent and then followed by the name of the node. So that's a lot easier. And then this one is just the parameters that is available in the animation tree. which is this one. And also you can drag it like attentions and requests, for example, like that. Excuse me, like that, and it will manipulate this node or this parameters to whatever you want. So basically that. Okay, let's take a look at what the attack in action, right? So basically the attack is, it has dashing properties. So the animation itself, because we already set up the root motion, do that. And the third one especially, it has like the spin and then the subtle step afterwards. And it is set up like this in the animation tree. So the transition from base to attack, and then the attack also has transition or states here. I named it attack index. There's attack 1, 2, 3 with respective animation. For example, attack 3 here, and attack, something like that. As you see, even though the animation itself in the Blender file, it moves forward, but it does not here. It's because I already set up the root motion here. So when you go to this tab, click on the animation tree. You know, there is a little bit of a, what is it, problem when I do that. Usually you go to the animation tree and then go to root motion and then set the root motion to this one. So I forgot to name it to root here. So I just click the bone. Basically that's the root bone, the one that control the root motion. And so set it to local. You don't need to, but yeah. All right. So now, when the player attack hit the input button, you request the animation tree to change state into attacking. So from base to attack. And then I list the attack index. What are the attack name? So you just say, well, if it is 1, then set the attack to this array, right? Attack index. If attack index is 1 or 0, it will go to attack 1, attack 2. It will be, excuse me, attack index 1 become attack 2, so on and so forth, right? And then set the delay to, the default is 0.4, but if the attack index is equal to 2, you have more delay because it is like the last hit and it requires more recovery. So it's a little bit, what is it? Available later, or you will be attacked a little bit later after they recovered. So that's the thing. So attack index +1 +1. If you have a specific, for example, like an air attack, then you need to give another what is it? How should I say, the condition, special condition for that. Like I told you, this is if the attack animation is finished, go back or set the state of the player or of the model back to base. And so that's the thing. Now, how does this relate with the movement comp? Because the movement comp is the one that handles all the velocity thingy. Now, if the state is not base, then set the root motion like so. Excuse me. So the root motion, to extract the velocity from the root motion from the animation, you need to use this method: get root motion position and then divide it by delta. Because root motion, the position is already multiplied by delta, and we need to get rid of that multiplication, and then we just divide it by delta, so it becomes like the original speed basically. And so that's the idea. And then we rotate that velocity or rotate that motion accordingly to the rotation of the player, so, or of the model, so it will go forward basically or whatnot. So let's take a look here. Ooh. So basically like this one, if we go right, then it will, the root motion will always go forward. If you don't rotate that accordingly to the animation, it will always go to the direction of the default motion. So like that. So don't forget to rotate that. And now this one is when it's locked. So right now it's facing, the player is facing like to the camera. Now if we attack, now it's what is it? attacking in the direction of the locked enemy. That's when we use the align to camera. So the camera global rotation, it's kind of like not twisted, but it's not what I want for some reason. But the solution, the easiest solution, is just plus or the rotation plus 180, or this in this case is pi, because that's the radian. So this one is the easy fix to when your character does not align well with the camera because of some rotation is wrong or whatnot. But so yeah, I think it's because the model that I created, it's actually facing wrong way. But if you want to fix, I guess you can fix it. But this is the easiest way to fix it. Instead of realigning the model itself, I just realign the through the code, I would say. And so that's basically the attack animation. It's pretty easy, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything to add. It's pretty easy. When it's locked, it's aligned to camera. It's attacking. It has combo and stuff. And so yeah, I think that covers everything regarding the attack. I don't know if I missed anything you want to add. Please leave in the comment down below. I think that concludes everything. Again, if you want to support the channel, you can get become a member in Ko-fi, and you get all the project files from the past, from the beginning of the channel up until this one. So with only $5, you can get all that. That's a special offer for upcoming month. In the upcoming month, yeah, maybe it's forever. I don't know. I don't really know. But hey, so thank you so much for watching. My name is Abu Danggara Sadine. I'll see you next time, and bye bye. Oh well, next part I think I will talk a little bit about the camera locking system. So yeah, stay tuned.